The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Working from the gun, Rodgers lets this one rip toward Graham. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13.
47 to Mike, boy, 47. Check.
On play action, Rodgers. He's got Curse.
Let's go,
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Don't get nervous.
From the pistol, here's Elliott. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
No. 158. You gonna get this, boy? You think you gonna get this?
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Rodgers. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 15 yards on the play. 1st down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the 1st.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that's caught inside the 30. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 27-yard line.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. They'll try to capitalize on play number 11 of this opening drive. 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. 30, past the 20, touchdown, New Orleans. Traquan Smith, 60 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of...
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Devontae Adams. 75 yards as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point attempt to follow here. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
It's a gain of a yard, and it's third down.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the third down stop. From the gun, here's Bissett. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Za'Darius Smith able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up fourth down. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And taken right on the 30. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over first and 10. They'll run on first down. It's Elliott. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a second and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Check girls, check girls, check girls.
Here's Elliott. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
On first down, Elliott. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And now it's third down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. (7-7), our score after one. The Saints with a football here to begin quarter number 2, as they'll start with a 1st and 10 at their own 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 47-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Bell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run with Elliott. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
319. Check, 47. Check the out, check the out, check the out.
Rodgers now to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at about the 14. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Parker, and this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level and quick, Make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
Switch up, switch up. Right here,
On 2nd and 15 now. Brissett. He's going to look deep down the field. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Cameron Jordan picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone. And Rodgers is going to go down. In the end zone, it's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Go. Here you go.
To throw is Brissett. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now a draw play. This is Bell. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and inches.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Here's Brissett. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive?
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal. Give yourself a lead going into the half. But if you're going to do this, you better have supreme trust in your quarterback. Supreme trust in the guy who's going to handle the football. Because if you turn it over here, not only do you go in down at the half, you've given the momentum squarely to your opponent.
Rodgers now on first down. Going for the deep ball. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Incomplete. Eli Apple on the coverage.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Rodgers going to throw again. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The Packers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now a play fake. Rodgers. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Tackle made by Deidron Sinnott.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Over the middle to Smith. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Short yardage, Brissett. And he finds Cook. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Brissett. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did he...
He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, Packers. Scott Miller, 61 yards. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead is up to 5. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Heavy. Watch the backfield.
To throw, Brissett. And he whips that one incomplete there. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, watch it. Mike Pittman.
Throwing, Brissett. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away.
Let's go.
Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here.
So don't say nothing.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Going up top. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45.
Okay, partner. No surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10. And an alley to run. Bell sheds him off. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That one good for 33 and a first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 23-yard run, and the Saints have retaken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Now Sean Payton going to say, let's go for 2 on this one.
Let's put that team on the bus. Nice pass. Right. Check nickel. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
This certainly feels like they were wanting to go for 2, but weren't really sure they should go for 2. Do we, don't we, do we, don't we? And guess what ends up happening?
5-yard penalty.
That's right. Now you probably line up and kick the extra point.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And the lead is now 2.
Makes the score Saints 16, Packers 14.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. David Onyemata there on the tackle.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47. 3 buzz.
Now Rodgers trying to lay one up deep. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to...
Le'Veon Bell, kiss him goodbye. Touchdown, New Orleans. Le'Veon Bell, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be fielded at the 6. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a gain of 34. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the 1st down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing is Rodgers. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some.
Working from the gun. Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
Now Rodgers. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Bang, 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 bang. Inside.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is good. And that'll move them back within 6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've been rolling the last couple of drives, each inning in touchdowns. So this game is flipped. They were down, now they're up with the football. We'll see how they handle it.
Can we get a spy on the headset now between the head coach and offensive coordinator? Because they've been in attack mode. Had to get back into the game. Now they have the lead. Do you stay on the attack, or do you dial it back a little bit to try and protect this lead?
Well, my cop-out answer would be somewhere in the middle. I think it's going to be a fine line, is it not?
I think you're exactly right, but I do think if they can stay aggressive and keep them on their heels, they'll be best served that way.
On 2nd and 11 now. Brissett completes this one to Meredith. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Mike 50. Mike 50.
Brissett from the gun on 3rd. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Brissett, and this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it, it's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why he ended up having to go one-handed, but boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab. Throwing on 2nd and long. Brissett caught here by Bell. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
51, Mike. Mike 51. You can't block me.
Again, it's Brissett. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
First and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Now Rodgers to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
47's the mic, boys. 47. Check, 47. It's our field. It's our field.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's out right at the 25. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Now you have to like the play call because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he hits the former Saint, Jimmy Graham. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Check it back.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
What we got? Watch twins. Watch twins. Go to 50. Right there in the middle. 55.
From the shotgun again to Elliott. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Rodgers now to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. They'll go again with Bell. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
A gain of 3 on the play.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
Let's go.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Bell. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
This is Bell. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. The Saints on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it with Bell. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them. And Lutz's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too.
Let's go, let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. To throw is Rodgers. Quick hitch, complete. It's Elliott. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
White left. Check. Lucky.
One final try now for Rodgers. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for New Orleans, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.